Americans need to understand, first of all, the scam of Palestine, or you can call it the myth of Palestine. That, first of all, Palestine invaded the American politics in the worst possible way. And many politicians try to exploit the situation, trying to please Dearborn or trying to please the emotional mob on the street, compromising the American interest and compromising the American security. And with that said, we need to understand that this is an invasion of ideologies, and this is a war of narratives. So politicians who have been exploiting the situation to gain a little bit of votes here and there, they are being selfish. They are looking after their short-term interest by not offending the Muslims, by not acknowledging an Islamic assault against civilization, by not addressing or countering the Islamic invasion of the Middle East, Europe, and parts of our country, and that actually includes some of their branches in the White House, in order to just gain some votes. Well, this is very low. This is as low as it can get. The American national security is above politicians. And this is up to the Pentagon, it's up to the CIA, it's up to the army, it's up to those who have been risking their lives to protect the American freedoms. And today, when we have the politicians playing around with what's so-called Palestine or the Palestinian cause, we need to be very careful, and the Congress must watch these people closely, because nobody is above the American national security, and nobody is above the American Constitution. And let me tell you something, the Palestinian ideology is anti-American, is anti-American Constitution, and we must counter them. And I hope at some point, a majority of Americans will come to realize that anything related to Palestine must be outlawed in the United States.
I mean, you grew up as the son of one of the founders of Hamas. That's before you had a personal and spiritual transformation, eventually working with the Israeli intelligence to expose the terror group. So you know their mindset. You know who these people are. What is your take on what's going to happen? Is the Islamic regime going to retaliate? What is the thinking process? Walk us through.
You know, this is the Iranian game, or let's say the Islamic Republic's game, that they started this war since 1979 when they came to power. And they have been funding, planning, plotting the destruction of the State of Israel. They have been killing Jewish people, and they funded their proxies in Yemen, in Lebanon, in Syria, Iraq, Gaza, the West Bank, billions of dollars. You know, this is their mastery of inverting narratives. First, they commit the genocide, then they cry that they are a genocide been committed against them. They are the invaders. They build their mosque on the top of the Jewish temple. Then they say, this is our mosque. They try to ethnically cleanse the Jewish people. Since 1948, endless attempts. Then they say we have been ethnically cleansed by the Jewish people. The world need to wake up. This is very delusional people. And we need to understand the origins of this conflict before we start taking sides.
You're right, but it feels like Israel is losing the PR war because of the social media. You see what's happening on TikTok, the useful idiots who basically are calling all of it a resistance movement. They know nothing about what is going on.
Listen, since October 7 and the killing of the Jewish people, that ignited bloodlust in the Muslim world. So when we talk about hundreds of millions of Muslims who have been on platforms, social media, and spreading the Islamic propaganda that is anti-Semitic, that is anti-Jewish, that's anti-Israel, by all the lame reasons, by the name of occupation, colonialism, who has the right to the land, etc. the same narrative that they've been repeating for almost 70 years. So now when we have hundreds of millions of people repeating the same narrative, many Westerners fell in the trap. But this is a plot of Hamas. This is the Palestinian strategy. On one hand, they kill the Jews. Then they take their own children as human shields. They sacrifice civilians for political and financial gain, and this has been their play. Now, many Westerners, in the face of the Gaza strategy and the lack of understanding, by the way, of the culture of sacrificing civilians, it's beyond the understanding of the Westerners. So many people, driven by very strong emotions that they did not want to see the death of children, hurried to blame Israel. And in the meantime, they validated the Palestinian evil practice of sacrificing children. This is what we are dealing with. It's human delusion, is not seeing things for what they are. And I hope that at some point, the truth will prevail.
Yeah. How do we get the hostages back? Does Israel negotiate with these terrorists?
Look, it's negotiating with terrorism is a dead end. But Hamas still has something to lose, and this is their very own lives. You know, assassinating Haniya, by the way, was a very clear message to the rest of Hamas leaders that if you don't return the hostages, you are going to be next. This was the message. The message was not only to Iran or to others. It was directly to Hamas negotiating team that you must reach a deal and you must return the hostages alive. And if they don't, you are next to Haniya. So now the negotiators of Hamas, call them whatever you want, they need to figure this out. We have innocent hostages who were kidnapped from their backyards, from their living rooms. That includes infants. And their families want them back. It's the obligation of the state of Israel, it's the obligation of any decent human being around the globe to bring those innocent people back to their families. And if Hamas think by returning the hostages, they can get away with their genocide that they committed on October 7th, they are totally mistaken. Justice must be served. And there is no way around it, because if the United States, if the rest of the world validate Hamas evil, then we are all in trouble.
Yeah, we do have lawmakers who, and it's not being widely reported, but we do have lawmakers who want answers about the Iran envoy, Robert Malley, who had his security clearance revoked. There's information that there was some, basically it was intelligence that was very important information that was mishandled. So the American public deserves to know what happened, and he had close ties to the Islamic regime. So we're watching that story very closely. But Mosab, before we go, I want to talk about your new book, From Hamas to America. Where can people get it? What's it about? What are they going to walk away with?
Well, this basically this is the second book. It was written actually before October 7. It's published just recently. It can give people an idea of my personal journey in Hamas, in the Middle East, then my journey in the United States and after. It's just an account of like first-hand experience. I recommend it to those who really want to have knowledge through a human journey, just dry politics and facts out of the context. So it's up to the people. I think it's available. I don't know where it is.
It's everywhere. I saw it. You can get it anywhere these days. So it's worth a read. Mosab Hassan Yousef, I know you're very busy. You made the time to come on here. I really appreciate it. I think your voice is so important, and what you say, people should be listening to what you say because you have firsthand knowledge of what is happening.
Thank you, Stella.